Okay, so man, that pimple just keeps getting bigger. I am currently reading The Long Run for like the third time, and Game Changers was finally released to me from Libby, and I just read about 3 minutes of it, and I can't get over Kip's accent. And I am reading all of these books out of order, mind you, because the first book that I got was Heated Rivalry, which is the first book. This is the second book after I read the third, fourth, and actually the fifth, fourth, and sixth book. So I only have two left, Game Changer and Tough Guy. Tough Guy is going to be a little bit harder for me to find because Libby only seems to have the Spanish version of it. Now, I understand Spanish, so I could read it in Spanish, technically, because I understand it, and I can translate it in my head to English if I wanted to. Not that I would have to, but that has a long list of people waiting for it. So I don't know if I'm going to do that because that's just a longer list than I am willing to wait for the Spanish version. Okay? That's a long list, people. There's like, last time I checked, about 40 people waiting for that version right now. And depending on how many days that person has the book, it's even longer than that. So, with that being said, I don't know if it's worth it, but a lot of people say that book is cute. So I might. Because I've read all the other books except for Game Changer and Tough Guy, which I can read in Spanish if I wanted to. But like I said, it's a long wait, and I don't know if I'm willing to wait that long. But I guess it could be put on my wait list, considering 2 books were just taken off my wait list. One of them being Game Changer, the other one being another book I was waiting on. So, yeah, I guess it could be put on my wait list if I wanted it to be. Which I might just put it on there because I've already finished 4 out of the 6 that are currently out. And I just started Game Changers, but like I said, I'm 2 minutes in. The Long Game, this is my 3rd time reading it. After I read it for the 3rd time, I'm gonna turn it back into Libby, so whoever's waiting for it next can get it early. Because I'm not a snob. If I finish a book, then I turn it in early. I read it a few times, don't get me wrong. But I will return my book early if I finished it already. Because that means that they know that that book is ready to go to the next person and the next person. And you know what? Libby tells you how many people are waiting for the book. And if I can make one person happy by releasing the book that I have early and have already finished, then I will do that. Because I know I get excited when my Libbies get released. But yeah, I'm gonna finish The Long Game for the 3rd time. Gonna read Game Changers. Don't know how well I'm gonna do because the accent is kind of throwing me off, but I watched the TV show before I read the books. Well, technically, I read Heated Rivalry before seeing the TV show. I found it after reading the second book, but every book after that, I had already seen the series, and I know what they changed in the books and what they kept and what they added. And yeah, it just makes me curious. But anyways, I'm gonna buy book 6, 7, and 2 because those are all Yulia Unchained stories. And the stories after that, I will buy one by one by one. Because I want to have hardcovers. Because I don't do well with paperbacks. I have paperbacks, but I don't do well with them. So the only time that I choose to have a paperback is if it's my only choice. And then I have to buy protective covers for it. And yeah, it's just a lot. Because I like carrying a book with me everywhere. That includes audiobooks, Kindle books, and an actual physical copy of a book. Does it seem like overkill? Maybe to most people, but to me, no. That's just real life, because I have to often wait for long periods of time. I have to be in doctor's offices, I have to wait for testing, I have to do all these things, and like, that all takes time. And when you have nothing to do, it just drags on. So, after I finish these books, am I gonna finish my physical copy of the 3 books I have in my bag? Probably. But I also have the other book that I have not started yet. But, we will get to that as we go, you know? So, I'm gonna finish these books because I'm almost done with the series. Probably gonna put Tough Guy on my list, even though it's gonna take me forever to get it. But maybe somebody skips, because you can skip. Like, if you're not ready to read a book when it's released to you, you can skip to the next person, and then they'll ask you again, and then you can renew it or borrow it. So I might just do that. Of course, it's gonna be the Spanish version, but I don't mind that. It's a language I know like the back of my hand, so I don't mind that.